Hello children, today we will study about circulatory system. We know that circulatory system is a system in which blood is circulated throughout our body, and as a result of which different substances like hormones, proteins and various food components and oxygen are transported to various parts of our body. Circulatory system consists of mainly three parts: heart, blood vessels and transport medium, that is blood and lymph. Now we are going to discuss about heart. It is the main part of circulatory system. We can call it as a pumping organ also because it pumps the blood. It is roughly triangular in shape and is as big as our fist. It is made up of cardiac muscles. We know that cardiac muscles are very specialized muscles which are involuntary working and they never get tired. Continuously they are working. So that is why they are specialized and only present in heart. These muscles undergo rhythmic contraction and relaxation. Now, our heart has four chambers. Upper chambers are known as atria or auricles and lower chambers are known as ventricles. Auricles or upper chambers are known as receivers because they have to receive the blood. Right auricle receives blood from different body part, that is deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood means in which oxygen is not present and that blood is rich in carbon dioxide. And left auricle receives blood from the lungs, that is oxygenated, that means it is oxygen rich blood. CO2 is not present there, or in other words we can say oxygenated blood is a pure blood and deoxygenated blood is a impure blood. Now lower chambers are known as distributors because they have to distribute the blood. That is why these are thick walled, because they have to tolerate higher pressure of distributing. If more pressure is not found in ventricles, they are unable to transport the blood to various body parts. That is why they are always thick walled. And upper chambers or auricles, these are always thin walled because they have to simply receive the blood. Now, in between the auricles and ventricles, valves are found. Valves are the small opening through which blood passes from upper chamber to the lower chamber. That means from atrium to ventricle. Atrium is actually a singular and atria is a plural term. Valve allow the blood to pass from atria to ventricles. It also prevents the backflow of blood. That means if once blood passes from auricles to the ventricles, it never flow back to the auricles. Then it get closed. Right and left side divides by septa, or we can say that right side of the heart and the left side of the heart, in between septa is present, which separate these two sides. Ventricles are always thick walled, as I already told you. Now, come to the blood vessels. These are pipe-like structure through which blood flows in the body. They are of different types, as I already told you. These are of three types: arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries, these are thick-walled because they have to distribute the blood to different body parts. That is why these are thick walled, and that is why high pressure is maintained inside them. They are deep seated also. They are found very deep in the body. They never see superficially. They carry blood from the heart to different body parts. They carry oxygenated blood generally, but there is an exception. pulmonary artery that carry deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs. Remember this, children. It is an exception. Now, second is veins. These are thin-walled and having valves. Valves, we know that it prevents the backflow of the blood. So here also valves are present, but in arteries no valves are present. And veins are always found superficially. All veins carry impure blood. Here is also one exception, that is pulmonary vein. It carries oxygenated blood from lungs to the left auricle. Always remember one thing, that left side always receives the oxygenated blood, that is pure blood from the lungs, and the right side always receives the deoxygenated blood. Now, capillaries. These are thin-walled and extremely narrow tubes which connect arteries or two veins. Actually, it acts as a medium, or it acts as a connection between the arteries and veins. And in other words, we can also say that further branching of arteries are known as capillaries. These are also very thin-walled. Now, children, see this diagram. Diagram of a heart. These are the auricles. This is right atrium and this is the left atrium. And these the larger chambers. These are the ventricles. So this is right ventricle and this is left ventricle. Remember one thing here. In between the atrium and the ventricle, one valve is present. Actually, right side the valve is present, that is known as tricuspid valve. And here the valve present between the left atrium and the left ventricle, that is bicuspid valve. And here also means both the ventricles also have the valves called as semilunar valves to distribute the blood. From right side, blood goes to the lungs because deoxygenated blood has to convert it into oxygenated blood, and this side, left side, because oxygenated blood is there, it goes to the different body parts through aorta. Just see it carefully. Now, working of human heart. As I told you that human heart is four-chambered heart. Right atrium, right ventricle, then left atrium and left ventricle. I made mistake here. Now, see the working. As four chambers are there. So, first, lungs. Through lungs, oxygenated blood that reaches to the left side of auricle. Means left auricle or left atrium. And from here through the bicuspid valve, actually bicuspid valve is found on left side. So through the bicuspid valve, the blood passes to the left ventricle. And although it is oxygenated blood, so from here it is distributed to the body parts through aorta. Actually, aorta is the largest artery. Now, as body part use of oxygenated blood, that means oxygen for the respiration process, then CO2 that enters in that blood and that blood become deoxygenated. Now, deoxygenated blood that is collected by superior and inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava collect the blood from the head region and inferior from the lower parts. And these vena cava that takes the blood to the right atrium. And from here it passes to the right ventricle through a tricuspid valve or a mitral valve. Then from here, semilunar valves are found on both the sides of the ventricle. So from here, the deoxygenated blood that passes to the lungs through pulmonary artery. There is an exception. I told you that artery always carry the oxygenated blood or the pure blood, but here pulmonary artery that carries deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to the lungs for oxygenation. Then in lungs, the exchange of gases takes place, CO2 is liberated out and oxygen get added to this blood. Then the blood from the lungs, it passes to the left atrium through pulmonary vein. That is also an exception because it is a oxygenated blood. Now circulatory system are of two types: closed circulatory system and open circulatory system. Closed circulatory system are found in higher animals. Closed circulatory system means in which blood never flows in open. It flows in closed blood vessels. That means it never comes in contact with the tissues directly. Example in human beings or higher animals. But open circulatory system, in it blood never flows in closed blood vessels and tissues bath in blood. That means here blood comes in direct contact of the tissues. Example, all the lower forms of organisms, as we can say cockroach also. Now the term double circulation, not only in human beings, other animals also have double circulatory system. It means blood flows twice or it passes twice through the heart. That is why it is known as double circulation. And in other words, we can say two types of circulation, that is systemic and pulmonary. Pulmonary means when it passes through the lungs, then it is known as pulmonary. Systemic means when it passes through different body parts, later on it passes through the heart. This is double circulation. So what is that? Systemic and pulmonary circulation. And in simple words, we can say that here blood passes twice through the heart. That is why it is known as double circulation. Now come to the important medium of circulatory system, that is blood. It is fluid connective tissue. Red in color because of the presence of red color pigment hemoglobin, which has the binding capacity. One hemoglobin molecule can bind 4 molecules of oxygen, and it has different components. Just see this chart. Blood has two components, mainly plasma and blood cells. Plasma it constitute about 55 to 60%, or we can say the liquid part of the blood is plasma. It is colorless also, or we can say it is slightly pale in color or straw colored. Blood cells, they may constitute about 40 to 45% of the blood volume. Blood cells are of three types: RBC, WBC and blood platelets. These cells are produced in the bone marrow, present in the longest bone, that is femur, the thigh region. So all the blood cells are produced in bone marrow. WBC has further division: agranulocyte and granulocyte. Agranulocyte means granules are absent in the cytoplasm. Granulocytes mean they are having granules in the cytoplasm and nucleus is also lobed. Further division of agranulocyte, these are three types: neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils. Granulocyte, monocyte and lymphocytes. Now plasma, as I told you, it is the liquid part of the blood. Straw colored we can say, or maybe pale colored, or sometimes we can say it is colorless also. It is alkaline. The pH of blood is 7.4. That means we can say that blood is having pH 7.4. It is alkaline in nature. Now composition of plasma. It contains about 90 to 92% of water and 8 to 10% of solutes. That means water is there, proteins, hormones, salts are there. Function: it carries all the dissolved substance from one part to another part, and all the cells are also found in it. Cell can flow because of the fluidity in plasma. Now, different cells we are going to discuss. RBC, that is red blood cell or erythrocytes. It is red in color because of the presence of red color pigment hemoglobin. One hemoglobin molecules can bind 4 molecules of oxygen. Remember it. RBC are circular in shape. Its lifespan is about 120 days, means after 120 days it is destroyed in liver. And then this destroyed RBC is also useful. It is useful for the formation of bile juices, which is necessary for emulsification of fat. Once again, I am telling you that after 120 days, the RBC is destroyed. Thereafter, it is utilized for the formation of bile juice in liver. Mature RBC or mature mammalian RBC is devoid of nuclei. No nucleus is present in it. And function, we know it transport oxygen throughout the body because it contains hemoglobin. Now, WBC or leukocytes. These are also known as soldiers of the body because they fight against infections. These are also known as phagocytes because it engulfs the foreign particles. These are colorless. Their lifespan is about 13 to 20 days. So we can say these are short-lived and present in less in number in the body. There are two types we already discussed, agranulocyte and granulocytes. Agranulocytes which lack granules in the cytoplasm. Two types, lymphocytes and monocytes. And granulocyte also you can see, children. They contain granule in the cytoplasm and they are having the lobed nucleus. They are of three types, neutrophils, basophils and eosinophils. Now, third is blood platelets. That we can also call it thrombocytes. These are the actually small fragments of megakaryocyte cell. I have not written it, you note it down that these are the thin fragments of megakaryocyte cells which are also formed in bone marrow. Their lifespan is about 9 to 5 days. These are oval shaped disc-like cells found only in mammalian blood. These do not have nuclei. And its main function is it helps in blood clotting. Now just see how the blood clotting takes place. We know that we are having heparin, that is an anticoagulant. As a result, that is why it avoids the clotting. So whenever we got injury, at that time thromboplastin, it activate the prothrombinase present in blood only in the presence of calcium ion and proteins. As a result, heparin, that is anticoagulant, it is inactivated. So then prothrombinase that convert prothrombin into active thrombin, it also takes place in the presence of calcium ion. Then thrombin, it convert fibrogen, that is insoluble protein, into fibrin, that is soluble protein. That is why clot is formed within 3 to 5 minutes whenever we are having any injury. Now children, the other remaining topic, that is a blood, their function, lymph, that is also there in another video we will discuss about it.